Hi everyone, my name is Jonathan Stern and I am an Olympian. Not a current Olympian, but an Olympian from back in history a long time ago. So today I'm talking to you from my home in Pennsylvania in the USA. I've lived here for 15 years, but before I moved here, back in the 90s, I lived in the UK, in London, and I competed for Great Britain in the 1996 Olympic Games in Atlanta, USA. Now, I'm wearing the official Olympic blazer from the Olympic Games in 1996 with the official Olympic badge from Atlanta in 1996. And I'm wearing also my official team tie from those games back in 1996. So I am a bit of a historian. I'm a bit of a relic from a time long gone by, but in 1996 I represented Great Britain in the Olympics in the sport of rifle shooting. Pretty exciting. I spent a long time training and living that life, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about it in the next few minutes. That's a bit more comfortable. Now I'm wearing my Olympic Games tracksuit from 1996. It's got the big lion, the Team GB lion on it, and it's got the logo on it. And these are the clothes that I hung out in at the Olympics. A little more comfortable than that stuffy old jacket and tie. So, like I said, I was involved in the sport of rifle shooting. What is rifle shooting? Well, it's a sport that's all about being very, very accurate all of the time. And to be very accurate all of the time, you've got to be very precise and you've got to have all the right equipment. So I've got a few things to show you. First of all, I thought I'd show you my rifle. So let me get it. This is the rifle that I used in the Olympic Games back in 1996 to compete. And it's a very precise, highly engineered rifle that fires one bullet at a time at a pretty high speed, and it shoots it at a target that in my sport was 50 meters away. Now, how long is 50 meters? How far is 50 meters? It's about half the size of a football field. So when you think of trying to shoot something at a target half the distance of a football field away, that's what I'm doing. So this is the target that I fire at. It's pretty small, as you can see. The bullseye is this tiny little bit here right in the middle, and you're supposed to hit that with every single shot. In fact, the guy who won the Olympics in 1996 in my sport hit the bullseye with every single shot, all 60 of them. So in my sport, you fire 60 shots, one after the other, one at a time, and try and hit this tiny little bullseye every time. And you get 10 points if you hit the bullseye. So 60 shots times 10 points is a maximum of 600 points. And the person that won the Olympic Games gold medal scored 600 out of 600. So that looks pretty far away just from here to the camera. Imagine this all the way over there, and then imagine it 50 meters away. It's pretty hard. So let me tell you a little bit about how I got into the sport of rifle shooting. So when I was 13 years old, I made friends with a guy at my school whose neighbor ran a little shooting club out in the middle of the woods nearby where we lived. And every Sunday morning, we'd go down into the woods and go rifle shooting with our friends at this tiny little club, and we weren't very good. But we kept on going and we kept on practicing, and after a while I got a little better, not very good. And then after another little while, I got even a little better, but still not very good. Then, back in 1983, I went to university. I went to the University of Manchester, and I joined the shooting club there. And that's when I started getting the hang of it. I started getting a little better, and I was competitive in the shooting club at university. And over time, I got better and better. And by the time I left university, I was in the top 20 of all the people in the universities across Britain and Scotland. And that was pretty cool. After that, I moved on and joined a club and started shooting with people that had been shooting for a long time, and got pretty good there and entered competitions and started winning those competitions. And eventually, after a long time, I got when was it? In 1988, I got to participate in the English Championships, and it was the first time I'd ever shot in those championships. And guess what? I won. Who'd have thought? I won my first ever English Championships. That was really good because that got me into a little bit of international shooting, and I got to compete on an England team, and started to go and compete against other countries and higher level stuff. So between 1988 and the next few years, I won the English Championship 5 times, and I got to go to some Commonwealth championships, and I think I won one and got a silver in another one. Not the big Commonwealth Games, but a more local version of the Commonwealth Games. So that was really great too. And then eventually along comes 1992. It was the year of the Olympic Games in Barcelona, and I wasn't good enough already yet, but I just made it into the Great Britain squad by then, which meant that the official squad and the official organization that runs Great Britain shooting and shooting for the Olympics was interested in me. And in 1992, I got to go to my first World Cup competition, which is like the senior international shooting, and I competed in East Germany in 1992. Was too early, or was too late to get into the Barcelona Olympics, but that's when things started for me on my dream to get to the Olympics. When I was a little kid, I remember just loving the Olympic Games. Everything about the Olympic Games I would watch on TV. I'd watch the opening ceremony, the closing ceremony, as much of it as I possibly could. And I just loved it. And I remember 1984, I think, was the Los Angeles Olympics. 1988 was the Seoul Olympics. 1992 was Barcelona. I remember all of those experiences, watching on the couch at home, watching on the settee, and wanting to be there and thinking how great and how cool it must be to go there. So once I got into the Great Britain team and was selected for some of these World Cup competitions, I really started focusing on how great it would be to go to the Olympic Games. So 1992, 93, 94, and 95 were really competition years for me, shooting in all these World Cup competitions, trying to get selected to go to the Olympics. And my sights were firmly set on the Olympic Games in 1996 in Atlanta in the USA. So in 1993 I went to a World Cup competition, and guess what? I won it. That was super cool. I won a gold medal in Milan in Italy against the best people in the world, and I won a gold medal. And that meant that I got to go to a big competition at the end of that year called the World Cup Finals, which was kind of like a championship of champions. So only the best 8 people in the world were invited to that. I got invited to that, and guess what? I won a bronze medal. I also set a British record, which was fantastic, made me very proud, one of the best things that I've ever done. And I was starting to establish myself as a contender on the world scene. The next year was 1994, and I got to go to the World Championships, which again were in Milan in Italy. And I didn't win it, but I came 6th in that competition, which was good enough to win what's called a quota place for Great Britain to send somebody to the Olympic Games. So it's like a ticket for one athlete in my sport to go to the Olympics. So I won that right for Great Britain to send somebody, and then I spent the next 2 years making sure that the selectors selected me to fill that spot and me to go to the Olympics. And in 1995, about 6 months before the Olympic, or a little more than 6 months, about 9 months before the Olympic Games, I got a letter from the selectors saying that they'd selected me to go to the Olympic Games and be Great Britain's only rifle shooting competitor in those games. So finally along comes 1996, and I am the entire Great Britain rifle shooting team. It's just me and my coach. So earlier on that year, we'd already been to Atlanta to a competition on the Olympic ranges as like a practice competition. But along comes the Olympics in, I think it was July 1996, and we get on the plane with the rest of the Olympic team, and we fly to Florida. and we spent 2 weeks in Florida before the Olympics in a holding camp or a training camp where we spent time getting used to the heat and the humidity and adjusting to jet lag, because there's 5 hours jet lag between Great Britain and Atlanta. So we had a great time there. We relaxed a little bit, we practiced a little bit, we got used to the heat and the humidity, and then after 2 weeks in Florida, we went up to Atlanta and moved into the Olympic Village. Now, life in the Olympic Village was pretty amazing. Athletes from all around the country, all around the world, from hundreds of different teams, all kinds of different sports, all eating exotic different foods, all wearing different uniforms, but all there for the same reason. All there because they loved sport and because they loved to compete. And it was such a friendly environment, and everyone was just keen to talk to each other and sit on the shuttle buses together and chat with each other and learn about each other's sports and learn about each other's cultures. It was really, really great. Then along comes the big day. My event was towards the end of the first week of the Olympic Games, and big build up to our competition. I was really scared and really nervous, but I'd set myself what I thought was a realistic goal for my competition. Some people, runners, they want to score or they want to run the 100 yards in less than 10 seconds, or they want to run a mile in 4.5 minutes, or a marathon in 2 hours 5 minutes, stuff like that. I wanted to hit a bullseye with my first shot. I figured that if I could get myself under control and not so nervous that I could hit a bullseye with my first shot, then I'd do okay. So luckily, I did okay. I hit a bullseye with my first shot, and I did okay. It wasn't my best ever competition. I certainly didn't win a medal. I finished way, way, way down the field, but I wasn't disappointed. I was just so happy that I'd done myself proud. I'd met my own goal. My family and friends who were there to watch me had a good time, and I can't tell you actually the amount of stress that was lifted from me having competed and finished and be done with it. So the rest of the time at the Olympics was really fun, relaxation. I got to go to see some of the events. I got to see the men's basketball. I went to the track and field events. I went to the swimming and diving events. I got to hang out at the Olympic Village in the pool with the swimmers and the divers and the athletes. It was really, really incredible. For many people, though, the Olympic Games is like the pinnacle of their experience. For me, that was the top of my career. I knew I wasn't going to train for another long 4 years and try and do it again. Here's my bronze medal from the World Cup finals in 1993. This is my participants medal from the Olympics in 1996. Everybody at least got a medal for participating, even if they didn't win a gold, silver or bronze medal. This is a picture of me from 1993 when I won the gold medal in the World Cup competition in Milan. And you can see my medals there on the left and on the right. I was on the gold medal winning podium listening to my national anthem. One of the perks of being a member of the Olympic team is that you get to meet some interesting and exciting people. This is me at 10 Downing Street meeting the Prime Minister, who was John Major back in those days. I also got to go to Buckingham Palace and meet Princess Anne. So I actually decided to retire after the Olympic Games in 1996. And I hung up my gun and I hung up my uniform, and occasionally I get it out so that I can talk to people like you, and it makes me feel good that it still fits. But I took basically 16 years off from the sport, and now I'm an old man of 47. But you know what? Just a few months ago I got out my guns again and I joined a club and I started practicing, and just 2 weeks ago I entered a competition and I did pretty good. So there's life in the old dog yet. So my advice to you guys is find something that you're passionate about, find something that you enjoy doing, find something maybe you're good at it, but practice, stay with it, keep going, set some realistic goals if you want to keep moving forward, but most of all, enjoy yourself and have fun with it. Bye!